Oh yeah, no, that definitely
The,
builds.
the tensions are rising. Can you
They're
feel?
rising indeed. Let me see. Did it go live on my Facebook yet? Probably gonna take a second. I'm not seeing it. It shows they're live up there. Oh yes, it does say I'm live.
Look at that. The technology worked.
Huh? Somehow there's already a share. I don't know. Weird, but
Singer?
What's that?
Like the singer?
Yeah. There's Cher the singer in here already. Cool. Well, Cher, thanks for showing up. Chris, just
Yes.
go ahead and talk for a second or two while I type up this thing.
Well, I'm going to talk for a second or two, but we're going to wait for some people to get in here. Hopefully, we have some fun people join us. We can talk about some found footage movies, making a found footage movie, all kinds of fun stuff. So, we're going to get started here in a little bit, but I'm still talking because Tyler's still, I don't know what he's doing. You're hacking.
Yeah, I'm doing good acting. Nah,
I said hacking.
Oh, yeah, now I'm hacking. Nope, I was just sharing this to our favorite Facebook group currently, which is the Found Footage Horror Fans group. Those boys and girls have been loving the trailer and the poster for Creature of the Pines. So I just shared it in there. We should be good to go.
Cool.
Those people love their found footage. So if we're going to be here tonight, Chris, discussing not only our found footage horror movie Creature of the Pines, but found footage movies in general, I would love for some of those fans to pop on in and chime in, because from what I see on that group, this genre in particular seems to have very diverse opinions and tastes. Chris, would you agree to that?
Yeah, actually, it's a pretty fun genre. Getting into it, how niche it is. Like, it's like there's a big horror community. Everybody loves horror movies, but then like there's a fracture amongst that don't like the found footage style. But then there's some really, really diehard found footage people out there.
Very true. Very true. Now, in the found footage horror subgenre, there's also, a couple different kinds. There's like mockumentaries, correct? Which is similar to what Chris and I did with Creature of the Pines.
Oh, hold on, Tyler. We have a super chat already. We just started, less than 5 minutes in. We already have a super chat from Silhouetted Animator, a Bad Movie Night fan. Thank you so much. Happy Boxing Day and happy belated Christmas. Same to you out there. Appreciate the super chat. I don't know. We haven't had a super chat in a really long time. That was very exciting stuff.
Well, they must be either excited about Creature of the Pines or just found footage movies in general. Silhouetted Animator or just horror. But if you want to chime in, let us know, what are some of your favorite found footage movies? We'd love to talk to you about it some. Chris.
Yes.
Do you think now would be a good time to let the audience know we've got a crowdfunding campaign going on for Creature of the Pines? We'd like to raise $3,000 for finishing costs. It's all shot and filmed. It's all edited. Some VFX need to be finished, completed. But out of that $3,000, with 15 days left in the Indigo crowdfunding campaign, we're sitting at $2,859, baby. We're 95% the way there. So if anybody's watching and you're into independent filmmaking, you're into horror, you're into found footage, you're into the mockumentary style, go to Indiegogo.com, search Creature of the Pines. You'll find it. Or if you can't remember that, just type into your search bar or web browser creatureofthepines.com, and that'll send you right on over. Or you can even screenshot your screen right now, and the support the film QR code in the top left-hand corner, that'll take you right on over there. And you can get some cool perks. Chris, you want to talk about some of the perks they can get quick before we get back to found footage?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into found footage. Some of the perks. Why would someone want to contribute to the Indiegogo for Creature of the Pines? Well, not only are you supporting an independent film, low budget independent film, but the main reason is if you want to see the movie relatively soon, by March 1st, you can get a copy of a digital version of the movie. And the reason this is exciting is because the movie's not going to come out at March 1st publicly. We're going to be taking it to some festivals and then doing the whole distribution process. So it'll probably be 9 months to a year until the movie actually comes out. So this is your chance to see it very, very early. And like I said, also basically help make a very, very low budget independent film.
That's correct. Now, to speak directly to the perks, which was the question that I asked you, you can get you can get a digital copy early, right? That's one of the perks. Two, you can get that digital copy early. You can get all the BTS footage we shot, and believe me, there's some funny stuff in there you're gonna want to see. And you also get the Pine Files, which is a PDF of all the myths, legends, lore of the Creature of the Pines. So you get all that great stuff. And then also, oh, did I mention you get your name in the credits? A special thank you at the end. Or if you want, well, actually, I'm going to have to talk to Chris, to be honest with you. We had producer credits available, correct? So in the beginning of the movie, it comes up and, well, baby, she looks sharp. But then it comes up and you see produced by Aaron Rupert, produced by Scott Pace, produced by Jeremy Hirsch. Oh, your name could be up there. The thing is, we just got another one here a couple hours ago. So I have to check. There might have been a 5 producer person limit or whatever, and we might be at 4 if I'm remembering correctly. So there might be 1 producer credit left out there. If you really want to attach your name to the film, as well as I'll make this quick, but Chris mentioned we're submitting to film festivals. We've got one, Fantasia International Film Festival in Montreal. The regular submission deadline is January 1st, which is, yep, you guessed it, in like 5 days. So with the producer perk, not only are you getting your name in the get produced by, you can tell your friends, family, it's on IMDb, it's all legit. You can use that to get all the work you want in the world. But you also, you get to see the movie early. Like, I'm talking like, oh, not March 1st early. I'm talking like after this live stream, we can send you a link early and you can provide feedback. And we have shown it to a select few people, the producers, as well as a few others. One, nothing but rave reviews, which has been super exciting. And it was great to just hear some things that they particularly liked. And just, you know, whatever it was, there was like maybe one suggestion or just from some of the feedback. Chris and I thought, oh, well, what if we tweak it like this? And it might make it even better. So I'll stop blabbing, but there's probably 1 producer credit left out there. And for $500, you can attach your name to the Creature of the Pines movie. You're more than welcome to come with us to Montreal. I think that the film festival is in late July. And we're probably going to Missouri. I can't remember. Screenshot? I can't remember that. But there are a number of film festivals, and as producer, yep, you're more than welcome to come along and help us premiere it or help us screen it. So, Chris.
All right.
That was a lot.
We shilled for a while there.
We shilled. I think we need to start talking about found footage, and that's your bailiwick. So, you personally, what is your favorite found footage movie?
Well, I don't know. It depends on my mood. I think I can name a few that I think I would say are my favorites. One is obviously Blair Witch is I'm a big fan of that film, but I think Hell House LLC, which was an inspiration for our movie, in some ways, it was a movie I forced you to watch. Yep. I love that film. There was a new Hell House LLC this year that kind of strayed away from the found footage and was more standard, cinematic looking movie. Not so great. I didn't really like it. but the original Hell House LLC, big fan. And then I would probably say Wreck, which is a Spanish kind of zombie-ish movie. It takes place in like apartment building. They remade it in America called Quarantine. I still think Wreck is better, but Quarantine is good as well. And that movie is really, really fun, really scary at times, and a good mix of the two kinds of found footage I think exist out there, which is like this is legit real footage, and this or the other one, which is like you're on a roller coaster ride kind of feel. And so that movie has like some very action-packed, scary moments that are much more, produced than the normal low-budget found footage kind of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one I'll say is Frankenstein's Army, which sounds like a really cheesy movie. And it is to some extent, but when you put this thing on, you'll think, oh, this is going to be really low budget, but it gets into what ends up feeling like if you've ever gone on like a haunted hayride or a haunted house kind of tour, and there's like monsters jumping out at you and stuff in like these elaborate costumes. That's what that whole movie is. So it's like over the top practical effects and stuff, and it's really fun. So those would be my three that I'll throw out there right now.
I think they're all great. I like everything about them.
Now you have seen Hell House LLC though, right?
I have seen Hell House LLC, and yes, it was per your. Okay, I was just double checking. Cool. We are live in the Found Footage Horror Fans group on Facebook, which if you enjoy found footage horror movies, I would highly suggest checking out that group. They're very active, 629,000 members or something, and it's cool. If you're looking for new titles to possibly watch, that would be a great place to look. The Facebook Found Footage Horror Fans group. And yeah, you can get some great recommendations out of there. So me personally, Chris, yeah, I'm not a real big horror fan in general. Sorry if that's sacrilegious to the viewers here. But yeah, my exposure to found footage horror movies was one, The Blair Witch Project, which, 1999, you and I, we were 14, right?
Yeah.
15 years old when it came out. And I distinctly remember there being all that chatter. And I'm not talking social media chatter. I'm talking like, I guess maybe AOL chat rooms, but really it was just passed around the bus and all that in school. But it was like, I heard that like that movie was real. Like, dude, that they actually like, yeah, they actually died or they actually. So I remember that whole experience of it. And I did enjoy that. And then, yep, you recommend.
Wait, did you see it? Like you saw it at the time?
I don't think I saw it in the theater. I think I like rented it at Blockbuster or whatever when it came out.
Okay. Yeah.
But because
was it the marketing that made you want to watch it because you weren't even a horror fan?
Yeah, I think it was just the marketing that made me want to watch it. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, at 14, 15, I wasn't driving anywhere. I don't know if my parents would have dropped me off to see that or not, but I don't know. I'm sure I rented it at Blockbuster, but it was cool that because the internet was in its infancy and like really no social media, blah, blah, blah. Even though, like, yeah, just from it being released in theaters and me thinking, oh man, there's a possibility it's real, all the way up until it finally came out on VHS to rent at Blockbuster. Like even then, I was like, I wasn't sure, right? Because it wasn't like, yeah, I just was scrolling through Facebook and you saw, oh, #1 movie, and and everybody's commenting, dude, this was so well done. This is not real, whatever it was. There was nothing to saturate what my initial impression was.
Yeah, that marketing was genius at the time, and I think like really, I was like, how would you ever pull something like that off nowadays? But what's funny is that made me think of when you was it Wisconsin? You went out to Wisconsin because of that YouTuber guy, like pulling off a fake like that kind of goes viral. That guy did as well with his UFO thing he discovered. But like, if you could do something like that to market your found footage movie, that would be amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, yeah, no, that would be brilliant to go to that extent. yeah, Reddit was super worried about James and the cylinder UFO that he tried to drill into, and then dropped down on a live stream. And yeah, it was real creepy and eerie. So yeah, it was kudos to him for pulling it off. Get a lot of people convinced, myself included. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure.
So
So
let's talk more about found footage stuff. Um, so you had seen Blair Witch Project. Did you ever see the Paranormal Activity movies? Any of those?
I feel like I must have, but I can't recall. Like it would have been the first one. I just remember being incredibly popular at that time, like the theater. But I wouldn't have seen it in the theater. Man, I feel like I had to have watched it, but I couldn't tell you the plot, so I honestly don't know. Did you see it when it came out in 2005 or whatever it was
Yeah,
in theaters?
I think so. I don't know for sure. I don't know if I don't remember exactly if I saw it in theaters. I definitely saw it when it came out though, and I've seen all the Paranormal Activity movies, and for the most part, I'm a pretty big fan of that series.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like very, especially the first one was like very subdued, right? Like I think that's what made it so scary is that like the camera angles and stuff. It's like very relatable. Just felt like a suburban house for a lot of people, and because of how restrained it was with its scares and its building of tension, like when it did finally try to scare you, it was highly effective, even though they're like basically showing nothing the entire film.
Yeah.
But that's like building, and that's like what I think is so great about found footage in general is like it's very approachable for like the budget we had for this film, very very low, but when the scares can be built upon relatability and then just rising tension and like not even needing huge effects to make you really scared, I think that's like what makes the genre so fun and why it can be really creative is figuring how to scare someone with very little or with like everyday things.
Yeah. No, that's a great comment. I know you had mentioned you recommended that I watch VHS 2
Oh
and
yeah,
specifically Safe Haven. Was that the name of the
Safe
scene?
Haven,
Or
yeah.
Safe Haven. Um, and so I remember telling you afterwards, oh, yeah, obviously super well done. I mean, yeah, great acting. But for me, it was much scarier before it got to that point where things got overly supernatural or
Yeah.
like, yeah, just when something's crawling on the ceiling. I was like, like it just took me, that kind of took me out of it, or I just wasn't as scared. Not that, yeah, it didn't look great, and yeah, just everything they put into it to create that. I, being a filmmaker like you, Chris, I'm like, oh wow, that was not easy at all
Yeah.
to make that. That took a lot of time, a lot of people working together, and a lot of money. And not a lot, but much more than what we go to make a movie with.
Yeah, and
So
I get
it was much more scary when it was that real stuff and the kind of cult leader and the stuff they're talking about, and the kids being indoctrinated or in school and how everybody acts, like that stuff. To me personally, like, oh man, like I was much more scared with that than when it took a different little turn later. Um,
yeah, I get it. Like it's much more relying on your mind to fill in like the gaps of the scares in some way. Do you know what I mean? Like
mm,
there's a there's movie. I remember when that Bird Box movie came out. Did you see Bird Box with
I
Sandra
did,
Bullock? And she's like,
yeah,
I can't look at it because if I look, the monster will get me or whatever. If you see it, it kills you
yep,
or whatever. And I remember when people were complaining online when that movie came out because, well, they never actually show you what it looks like.
right,
And I was like, well, the whole premise of the movie is built upon you seeing this unfathomable thing that causes you to, I forget exactly what happens to you if you just die or whatever.
right.
I was like, what could they possibly show you that would fulfill that? Do you know what I mean? Like it would, no matter what you show, would be a disappointment in that regard. So that's where it's like, all right, the beauty of your imagination and making putting that onus on the viewer can be much more effective.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I am much more cookie cutter and what I like to consume. Shout out to Greg Lanciotti in the chat here. Thanks for joining us here this evening, man. We're talking about some found footage movies. So feel free to comment with any found footage horror movies you really enjoyed, and we can comment on if we've seen them and what we thought. Chris, what was your question? I lost my train of thought. It was or where were you talking?
I was talking about we were talking about how you found the more setup of Fairhaven.
Safe Haven
from VHS 2. You thought that was like way more scary than when like the monsters and stuff started appearing.
Right. Yeah, no, there was something you said specifically then afterwards when you were talking that I wanted to comment on. Oh, Bird Box. Yeah. Again. So I liked more. I like the payoff more. I know you like more of the mystery. I do agree. There's definitely a lot of scenes in movie making where, seeing a crack under a door and hearing the, whatever gruesome acts that are taking place behind it, like your brain filling in that stuff, it is very scary. But for something like Bird Box, I don't know. I feel like, man, I would like, I would have liked the payoff of seeing the creature. I understand your perspective too. Everybody's different, but that was another one where the marketing was genius, was it not? I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember when that came out on Facebook, or when that came out in theater to Netflix, like it was all over social media. Like I couldn't look anywhere without seeing it, you know? Like I'm like, I gotta watch this. I mean, every third post on whatever I'm scrolling on is about Bird Box. I'm like, this must be something. And I remember it set records for, viewership or whatever it was, like right out of the gate. It was, it's cool just where the world has gone from, it was really always all about, oh, well, what's the opening box office weekend or whatever, you know what I mean? Or box office week numbers, to like now you can make this movie and it do crazy numbers just on the Netflix release, right?
Yeah.
Like it's wild that all this transition and where, like, I didn't look at the numbers, but the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua fight or whatever that just happened on Netflix, I tuned into that and it was crazy. I guarantee you there was an ungodly number of people around the world watching that thing. And before you had to rely on TV networks, cable TV, and all these other, just whatever. You couldn't reach people with just like a streaming service. It was, that wasn't possible. And we've come such a long way.
User base is huge. Yeah, Grave Encounters is great. That's a really fun movie. I think I did recommend for you to check that one out, Tyler. I don't know if you did.
I did not.
Yeah, I thought that one was a lot of fun. I don't think I ever saw the sequel, and I think they're remaking it now. I want to say like Justin Long or something is attached to it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Bird Box, though, that was like they made A Quiet Place. So that was a movie where you can't make any noise. And then it was like,
right.
What if we take away a different sense? And now you can't see it. So now everybody has to wear a thing over their eyes. And
it's brilliant, though. A lot of times the simplest story works, right? Like, it was brilliant by them. So,
did you watch, speaking of new found footage movies this year, did you watch Man Finds Tape?
I watched some of it. Yeah, that's the one with kind of the religious leader or cult leader in the beginning, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched some.
Places, didn't catch you.
It didn't catch me. I'm sorry. That and other people are gonna hate on me, but Lake Mungo, I started that, and man, I made it maybe 20 minutes, and it was, I don't know. It just Lake Mungo.
That's a very popular one.
I know, but it was just talking head interview after talking head interview, and it was just how these people felt about the disappearance of their daughter or whatever, or drowning or whatever it was. And I don't know. I just thought, man, 20 minutes of talking about that. Can't we get to something else? Like, and then it was just starting to get to the paranormal stuff. And I don't know, we were working on, our Creature of the Pines or whatever. So I think I had other stuff to do. But when I took a break, I didn't end up going back to it because I'm just like, man, dude, I like that it feels real.
Do you like the documentary aspect of it, like the faux documentary?
I do like that mockumentary or fake documentary aspect of it, which we used in Creature of the Pines and all of our other just paranormal documentaries. But what I like about our stuff is like, man, everything's like all the talking head interviews are all 3 cameras, and so it's great that
it
just doesn't get stale.
So like with Lake Mungo or something not doing that for you, was it not transitioning enough for your like Zoomer?
Yeah,
like
for my ADHD mind, it was not, and because it was like, I thought they did a nice job where it didn't sit on one interview for too long, right? It kept transitioning interviews and showing some B-roll here, but by 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh man, we've got one camera angle for the dad, one camera angle for the son, one camera angle for the mom. Like, I just keep seeing the same image.
Yeah, see, I don't know,
but 20 minutes.
Like your perspective might be changed forever now, having made stuff like that, documentaries, for so long that it's like you can't not see it when the majority of the viewer base probably doesn't even notice. They might feel it in some way unconsciously, you know what I mean? Again, that might be why it would start to be or feel repetitive or start the pacing start to get slower in some way. But they may not be able to put that into words. But like you are hyper focusing on it, though, I feel like.
Yeah, probably. I don't discount that.
But if the story was so good, you would think it would be able to overcome that too.
True. If it was, but I mean, Chris, I was even nitpicky with the Diddy documentary, the 50 Cent produced or whatever.
You were, my God, yeah, you were.
Where I'm like I only made it through 2 out of the 4 episodes, only because I'm like, bro, I have seen the same damn picture, like from the 80s or set, whatever it is, this old picture, and it keeps slowly zooming in. It's the same picture, and it's the same slow dynamic zoom. We're not slowly zooming out. We're not coming like from side to side.
It really bothers you.
It bothers me. I'm like, bro, just change it up, mix it up. I've seen it so many times, and it's the same thing. So, it gets old. So I don't know. I like that. At least what we've done, we make sure we keep it fresh.
But speaking of like Mungo and those kind of films, the faux documentaries, like I like them too, but even in like a real documentary, if it's like a true crime or something like that, you're waiting for that like real footage of something, and not just hearing people's perspectives on a crime or whatever happened. You're waiting for like the payoff moments. The payoff moments usually are like, this is body cam footage or something, like, you're going to see some shit and feel something. So even in the fake documentaries, it's like, all right, I gotta, at some point, I want to see some stuff. And that was, Lake Mungo is a slow burn. I think it's still a decent movie, and I know a lot of people really like it. There's Savage Land. Savage Land, I hear, is amazing. And I've tried to watch this thing 3 or 4 times, and I make it about 20 minutes into the movie, and it's just like it's like talking head after talking head after talking head, news reports, but like never seeing anything. It's very slowly building to what is going on, and it just didn't hold my attention enough to get to the payoff. So I got that. And, like the Hell House LLC and stuff is one of those sort of fake documentaries, but it's very loose. It's mostly just the found footage stuff you're seeing.
Yeah. No, I did like Hell House LLC. I like the mockumentary aspect. I like how they, I thought it was clever opening up with a YouTuber live stream video that they later go back to, in the movie or show a couple times or whatever. But I thought the acting was very real.
Yeah.
Very genuine.
There's some really good scares in that film.
There are. There's some are, very simple, but
really simple. Yeah.
but it was like, oh, dude, you're
That
so invested in it. You're just, your
that is,
mind goes. It's cool.
it's so hard too. Like we have, I don't know, there's a dozen plus scare sequences in Creature of the Pines, and when you're making a movie, it's not scary, right? Like when you're like when you're just doing when you're filming the scare sequence, it's not scary. And then when you're editing the scare sequence, it's not scary. And so like then you watch it and you're like, well, this wasn't scary. But that's because your perspective is so jaded, you know what I mean? Or just different from the casual viewer, someone who hasn't seen this before. So it's so hard to tell like was that scary? I don't know. And I can't just ask you and or anybody related to the movie. So you got to try and get other people to watch it with fresh eyes. But in the creation process, you never really know.
Yeah, no. And just everything that was added on. I mean, yeah, it's been cool to hear the feedback that we've gotten from, some of the producers and a couple of the people that we've had that we sent like a private screener to. It was neat to hear the things that they particularly liked because, like you mentioned, after watching it for the eighth, ninth time, you can start, and that's just me. Chris has been editing it for hours and hours and hours and hours for days and days and days. So he's heavily desensitized to it. But even me, you end up kind of getting to a point where, yeah, it's like, oh man. So when we like, there was stuff that was written that we wanted to be scary and wanted to have an effect, but it was real sick where just one scene in particular that a few people mentioned, it was like, wow, dude, that's cool. They enjoyed that way more than I would have thought. Like it was cool. Great idea, very well executed, but man, they like that more than just other ones I would have thought might have been a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, no, it is funny. It is funny how that one. I think it's just it catches people off guard or something. So that's what makes it so effective. We'll see what happens when like a lot of people see it. I'll be interested to hear. Greg says, "Well, that's where your editing comes in." Yeah, but like when you're editing something you've seen it a million times, you don't feel anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I can feel the rhythm of a scene. But so when I'm editing, I'm like, all right, it feels like it should stop here. Or this is when something should happen, but that emotion doesn't really hit anymore after I'm exposed to it for hours and hours and hours, for days and days and days and days. Now, if I don't watch one of my movies, like now, if I haven't watched Transient, which is my other movie for a long time, and I go back and I watch it, there's a lot of personal stuff in there because it has like my kid growing up throughout the movie. So seeing that, I feel emotional again. But like in the edit, I didn't feel anything just because of how exposed I was to the footage. Yeah.
Ian Gray, you want to pop that up on the screen? I don't know what scares me more, you or how much I care about you.
Is he talking about me?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's got to be directed at you because he said previously, "You scare me, Chris."
Oh,
so I guess now's a good time. Yeah, I mean, Ian does appear in the movie Creature of the Pines.
Ian Gray Anderson. Yes, he does.
He does. He also hooked us up with a dope location for where to get Professor Harlan's interview. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, that interview looks amazing, and Paul Hood did a fabulous job. Where we've got a lot of great feedback from the select few people who watched it, who were like, "Man, dude, that professor, he was good." I'm like, oh, dude, yeah, no, he was really good.
He was very good.
But back to Ian. So Ian, yep, he hooked us up with a place there to film that interview. When we did the filmmakers stuff, Ian, as far as setting up tents and whatnot, like my man showed up.
He showed up. Set any of those damn tents.
Yeah, Ian showed up with like 3 to 5 backpacks, 3-4 tents, hatchets. Yeah, the whole works, dude. He without him, we wouldn't have had any props for people to sleep in. So yeah, no, it was a big shout out to Ian. Why he's talking about Chris the way he is now, I'm not
Me and
sure.
Ian have a deep love that goes for many years. We used to do
You
a show together that was a lot of fun on the Bad Movie Night channel.
oh yep.
We spent a lot of time together.
You guys done a ton of shorts. What was that one? The work one?
Work sucks.
Work sucks, yeah. That was a lot of fake blood in that one.
It was. I'm
So
surprised at all of your assets. I do have nice assets.
yeah, no, I assume that is some sort of sexual innuendo. Yeah, because I don't know what assets he would be speaking about, but
Can we talk a little bit more about found footage films?
yeah. So well, Man Finds Tape. You brought that one up. I said I started to watch that. Man, I hate to be nitpicky, but darn it, that preacher guy in the beginning, it just
Didn't catch you.
he didn't grab me. He wasn't charismatic. I just wasn't believing that he was leading, you know, a cult or whatever. So that kind of whatever turned me off right away to it. I'm like, darn it.
Yeah,
I thought this thing, yeah.
You're a you're a hard viewer, huh? Like hard to. Well, and that's not fair, maybe, because these are like you said, you're not a big horror guy, and so now you're like starting to get into the genre because I kind of forced you into it.
Correct. Yeah.
So, and then even probably when you're watching something like Man Finds Tape, you're like kind of doing it because you're like, well, what can I learn? What can I see what other people do who are making these kinds of things? So, again, that might also be a little bit more difficult to kind of get invested in the story, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, you recommended Hell House LLC, and I watched that and was like, oh, I like that story. Like, and it was intense kind of in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
where I was like, oh, cool. I know I'm getting action, even if it starts getting slow. I thought Hell House LLC for a guy like me, where, once it
Well,
drops to the owners of the thing and they're like, oh, 21 days to opening night, 19 days to, I'm like, oh, cool. We're counting down to opening night. I know
yeah,
where we're going.
that. Yeah.
So, yeah. So those were a couple of things with that particular. So it's like, oh, man, you got to kind of grab me out of the gate and give me some sort of decent story. Like the Safe Haven thing, what bugged me about that from VHS 2 was like, oh, man, you built out this great real world cult where I'm like, dude, this is some scary stuff. And then when it went straight supernatural, where it wasn't like supernatural or paranormal where I could like believe it, it was
Yes,
like just kind of over the top. I was like, oh, well, dude, yeah, if you set up that from right in the beginning that this stuff was possible in this world or these something like a creature, whatever, I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'll believe kind of whatever the story is. Cool. We're in a sci-fi fantasy world. But when you set up for the whole first half that this is a just straight up real world, then yeah, you flip it on me. I didn't get satisfaction from that. Me, it was like, oh, cool. This is entertaining. I enjoy this, but man, I'm no longer scared.
Yeah, no, I would probably agree with that too. I think when you go from like the grounded to not grounded world, like when your entire thing was built on a grounded world to then automatic like randomly shift like that can either like sometimes it can really work and then most of the time it feels like it doesn't. Yeah, and you're right. Like I enjoyed both aspects of that short. I guess you wouldn't call it short. I don't know. Part of VHS too. And I think both aspects are done well in their way. But yeah, I do feel like the first part was definitely scarier than the second part.
Yeah. Well, and you want to tell everybody how you ruined VHS 2 for me?
What? I had to explain to you what an anthology film was?
Yeah. and it totally...
That was really... I didn't even think about that when I recommended it to you. I just like kind of assumed that you would, once you start watching it, realize that it's like an anthology thing. But yeah, I called you and you were like halfway through the first short in it. And you had no idea like that this was going to be over soon, and you're going to be on to a completely different idea and story and everything like that. So, oh well,
That
now you know what
yeah,
an anthology is.
yeah, no, now I know what an anthology is, and now I know what to avoid because I
You don't like that?
particularly I like when there's one huge storyline, and if the other short stories in there, well, I hope they tie into the main one, not just random,
See,
well shot sci-fi stories
I can
or
get
horror
on board
stories.
for. I think the VHS for one is probably like they're so much fun. Every one of them, there's usually like one or two that are really good for me. Shorts in there,
Hmm.
and I don't know, they're consistently like with their production value amongst themselves. You know what I mean? So it feels like all right. That's the fun of a anthology movie is like all right. This one was okay. I'm excited for the next one. Like there's going to be some ups and downs, and that's kind of the fun of it. And because of the it being a short, they can be really, really ridiculous ideas that wouldn't really ever make sense in a feature length film.
Hmm.
So that's also kind of the fun of it.
And I can see that aspect. I got some kind of surprise for my kind of ADHD brain why I wouldn't be attracted to something
Yeah,
like that, where it is just a bunch of shorts. I guess maybe if it was like I don't know if somehow if I would have known beforehand, maybe. But even after the fact, it's just like if I want to go watch a movie, like I want to go sit and watch an hour and a half movie that has like characters that get developed, and there's a overall arc, and then yeah, um, you don't know if you've seen VHS, Greg. Well, if you like anthologies, and like Chris said, it's a great mix, and yeah, Chris, mad credit to they are all extremely like well shot, well acted, well produced. Like they're all I wouldn't ever say like, oh gosh, that looks like garbage. Who let that make it into the uh this anthology? Like they're all great. I just don't like anthology series. What were the best from 2025? Best
um,
found
yeah.
footage horror films?
I think the one that I enjoyed the best was Strange Harvest, which
Hmm.
Tyler you should check out because our next movie deals with cults and stuff like that. And this Strange Harvest kind of plays out like a true crime documentary. But it's got a lot of cool body cam footage and stuff of like the police coming upon a crime scene and like their ritualistic kind of murders and stuff like that. And so you're getting interviews with like the detectives and witnesses and all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, they're like sprinkling in some body cam footage, and there's like this kind of serial killer um, subject that like is the through line through the whole movie. So you're like seeing him do all these murders and you're starting to learn more about him and his motives. And then the movie really goes places by the end. But I thought it was really well done. And yeah, there's some great production value because there's like sequences where there's like SWAT teams like busting into a house, but they like have full gear and stuff. And there's a bunch of
Oh wow.
and there's some really like disturbing kill sequences and aftermaths of kills and stuff. So, and then like some really cool mystery. So I think you would probably like that one a lot. But that's Strange Harvest.
Strange Harvest. I will definitely check that out. Cause we're looking to get going on Children of the Veil.
Yeah.
Yep. Found footage horror movie following or regarding a cult. We won't say much more, but it's dope.
Did you
It's gonna
watch
be dope.
Dream Eater, Tyler?
So no, so in that Facebook found footage horror fans uh, Facebook group, the group, I have seen Strange Harvest here mentioned a lot, so I do need to watch that. And then I feel like I have seen that Dream Eater. And if I recall correctly, I feel like was that one is that one where people are torn on it one way or the other, or no?
I
Am I
mean,
thinking of something else?
I would definitely lean way more negative for that film.
Okay, the stuff okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's two people go to a cabin and then some stuff happens. There's like some shining inspiration, but it's about a
Okay.
guy who I forget what the medical problem he has, but some sort of ailment for when he's sleeping. He's like gets into these deep dreams and then like can become violent during the dreams and doesn't know what's happening. So they're like the whole reasoning for the footage is that they're documenting this and his girlfriend is the one who's like a filmmaker or something like that. So she's like
Okay.
recording all this stuff, and that's the reason why the cameras are always rolling. And then I don't know, it's like two people in a cabin. A lot of time it feels contrived of why they are recording and what they're saying, and it feels like forced exposition a lot of times
Yep.
from the actors. And yeah, I just didn't think it was very scary. I was bored. And then they also kind of do the cheating thing, which is where it's like, we're going to have this ridiculous establishing shot with music, even though it's not a fake documentary. It's just a found footage movie. It's like, well, where's this music, background music coming from and stuff like that? Because, dude, that's the biggest challenge with found footage and stuff, right? Is like, if you're abiding by, well, this footage was found, then there's not going to be a backing track. And dude, music shapes so much emotion in a movie of what you're feeling.
Oh yeah,
and builds so much that like you don't have that though when you're making these found footage. Like I can't add the rising music underneath that builds the tension, artificially, even for what you're like, when it matches the visuals, then like you're doing the best of both worlds. But like without that, like we only have to rely on what is happening in the scene. No background music to start building that tension. The scene itself has to, and that can be really challenging.
For sure. But there are ways to get around that with, just the audio design on whatever environment the people are in.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Or if they would happen to have a Bluetooth speaker or whatever. There's definitely ways to help get some music into there, or if it's a mockumentary, certainly during those scenes, if they're the documentary part's finished or whatever, you can use it throughout there to start setting the tone. But I agree, man, to do a straight found footage movie where it's just the recording from that one camera or whatever without any music or breaks, man, it would feel hard just walking forward or whatever, just going from scene to scene to scene. But I'm sure it can be done. Chris, for the people watching, did we want to run the Creature of the Pines trailer by any chance?
Sure, we can do that, and I can run to the restroom while we do that.
That is perfect. The log line, let me set this up here quick for you, is where's our IMDb page? Darn it.
You can't even say the log line.
No, I want to say it verbatim, Chris. I don't want people commenting, dude, you missed a word. So it's a documentary investigation into Pine Hollow disappearances reveals a presence lurking deep within the New Jersey Pine Barrens. So if that sounds like something you are into, and you check out this trailer here that Chris is about to roll while he takes a piss, and you get really hyped, you can head on over to creatureofthepines.com, get one of those perks, and you can get the movie a good 9 to 12 months before it goes onto streaming platforms. And that's via a digital link for you to download. And there's a delay in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I don't know. We're on Restream. I didn't know that the delay was that long.
That bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Either way, Chris, I guess whenever you're ready, you can take it away. People can visit, creatureofthepines.com. That'll take you to our Indiegogo campaign. Or check out that QR code.
Let's do the trailer, and we'll be back talking about more found footage. Here we go.
Authorities say that newly recovered footage from a camera found at the campsite of missing hiker Olivia Marsh has raised more questions than answers.
Old oral stories from the Lacuna tribe, rhythmic tree knocks, disorientation.
The story goes, once you hear its call, you're marked.
Did you hear that?
Yo, Lewis, where you at?
He wouldn't stay out all fucking night without his pack.
When two people go missing and only one comes back, it raises questions.
Dispatch, I've got eyes on a male.
What's your name? You alright?
Something what happened to Jared and Lewis. I'm telling you the truth!
Because that's where everything begins. And where it ends.
I've been out there after dark. You hear things.
Something's out there, and I believe people who've gone missing didn't just get lost.
This place is fucked. We should have never came here.
If you're ever out there and you hear it call your name, don't answer it.
What a trailer.
Brought a tear to my eye. I mean, if that doesn't hype you up for our found footage horror movie Creature of the Pines, I don't know what will. You're dead to me and the world. No,
That's
kidding. Yeah, that hits a spirit. Trying to get backers here. CreatureOfThePines.com. Don't be dead to me. Go there now. But no, that trailer, Chris, yeah. I'm really proud of it. I can tell you that, and proud of the work that you did between the writing and the filming and the editing and directing through all the actors and actresses. I mean, and Patrick helping with location. I mean, it was a massive team effort to, produce that 2-minute trailer. And Chris, let me ask you this. What's your, and I should know the answer, what's your favorite part of that trailer?
Favorite part of the trailer?
What do you like in general about the trailer? A lot of other trailers, they typically got a what? I feel like I'm coaching.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. What was good about the trailer was it was easy trailer to make. And why was it easy? Is because we had so many scare sequences and stuff to pull from. Like, we didn't have to normally, like, I remember making Transient's trailer, and Transient is way more of a sci-fi thriller than it is supposed to be horror, but there is a few scare sequences, and the big moments are what attract people, right? They're easier to sell. So I remember, though, man, I can't show everything in this trailer, can I? Well, maybe I have to, because I need it to be as engaging as possible, to grab right away. But for Creature of the Pines, we had so many moments that I could pull from that I didn't really show any of the actual climactic scare sequences or anything like that. Like the really scary stuff, the last few minutes and that of everyone's footage that gets really scary, none of that's in the trailer. So if anything, watching that trailer now a few times, I'm like, man, that should be about 30 seconds shorter, but it's okay. Cause I think it builds and you're like, this is cool. And then it slows down again. And you're like, oh, okay, why is it still going? But then it builds again. You're like, all right, this is cool. So it ends on a positive again. But that's my feeling now after having some time away from it.
That's good. Well, we can polish it up.
We still can, yeah. But after watching it again tonight, my thought was, damn, that Ranger interview looks badass on that porch.
Oh, it does. Yeah, Park Ranger Bill Carson absolutely knocked it out of the park. And just with that location on that on the porch of that log cabin, with that setting and everything, and the time we did it, it's November. We are filming from early in the morning, definitely, say 10. And we were typically filming till 10 p.m. at night. And so I remember just the way things worked out to film the Ranger, Bill Carson's interview. It was like, oh man, well, we had lunch scheduled for this period of time. You know what, Chris? You want to film it? You want to film it then? And it was 3 o'clock or whatever. So it was just a good hour, a couple hours before dark. So the lighting was nice. We threw up a little bit extra or whatever, but yeah, no, we couldn't have planned that any better. I think doing it there instead of that tower at Governor Dick's, I mean, I think it worked out better here.
Oh yeah. This was perfect. Sure. This is one of those moments when you're making a movie where it just like something comes up, and you're like, all right, well, let's just do it. No planning or whatever, and then it comes out being like a fucking amazing. So that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but good trailer. Thank you, Greg. Dude, as an editor, like I do a ton of editing professionally. But trailer editing and music videos, they're a different animal from like narrative or documentary filmmaking or even commercial filmmaking editing. Just because like that trailer, man, it's gotta, and just like a music video, it's got to keep you engaged every second. It's got to grab you, and it's got to be building. And there's just way more quick cuts, transitions, and sound design. And it's very daunting to try and start building a trailer. And so the way, like when I'm building a movie, it's like I'm slowly building up this tower. Is how it kind of feels. Like I'm adding piece and piece and piece until I get the tower assembled, and then we go back and we fix things or change things. But that's how it feels when I'm like making a movie. But when making a trailer, it's like I'm just gonna throw a shit ton out here and I'm gonna chisel away. I keep chiseling away. So it feels almost the opposite. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that is a good visual. No, I feel you there.
Yeah.
You do great on the trailer. I mean,
yeah, I really do not. I do not look forward to editing trailers or creating them at all.
Well, you did a fabulous job on this one, and I like that. You know, I remember I specifically saw like, oh, dude, I love that. There's some storyline to the trailer. Sometimes I see trailers where it's just kind of random. Oh man, yeah, this looks high production value and like there's a lot of money spent, but is there like a story here? Like what is this about? I have no clue. So at least this, either you read the log line, you're like, okay, we got a group of documentarians, checking out disappearances in the Pine Barrens. All right, that sounds interesting, like something I want to watch. You watch the trailer, you're like, okay, cool. Yep, I understand this. We got a guy. Yep, there were disappearances. Blah blah blah. Ooh, this girl gets pulled off screen at the very end. Oh, it's dramatic. Blah blah blah. So I like that it gives you somewhat of a storyline of people disappearing and one coming back and that kind of thing.
Speaking about found footage, though, Tyler, found footage movies and that girl being ripped off screen at the end of our trailer, that is very much an homage to like one of the movies I referenced earlier, which is Wreck. There's a very into found footage movies, you would know this scene where the girl's like kind of reaching for the camera and gets pulled off out of frame. We kind of ripped that off in our film, but more of an homage. It had a reason. It wasn't just
oh yeah like, no,
we do here. We're like, oh, that'd be cool if this happened.
Yeah, it worked well. And so people really like the trailer, and you'd like to see some of the behind the scenes footage of how we pulling people off, or doing just different things that were executed and things like that. You can head on over to creatureofthepines.com, check out some of our perks. The second one, allows you to get that BTS footage.
It'd be cool if there's people out there who want to make films, haven't made film. Watching our behind the scenes hopefully will inspire. Just because, like, we made this movie just us two. We did have Tony running sound on those 3 found footage days, which was awesome. But otherwise, just me and you doing literally everything. From writing to filming to post-production, and I
casting,
all the graphic design for the film.
And
music and everything, casting. We did everything. And so, and we did it all with fairly cheap cameras, Sony FX30s. They're about $1,500. Get another lens. It's like $2,500 with the lens and stuff. But we're not shooting on Reds or anything for this.
Oh, by the way, shout out to my son's boy, Aiden. Cash Money in here. I was just over. Here's what's up. I will give you this. Because Aiden showed up, and I thought he might. I'm not too proud to admit there was a gingerbread house contest earlier over at Hunter's mom's house. Aiden was there. There was like 6 kids and myself. Everybody voted. So between votes there, everybody could vote, but you couldn't vote for your own. Aiden won that one handily. Everybody picked Aiden's. I think I got maybe 1 vote, which I was happy with. And then Facebook, they polled it, and Aiden, I don't know if I'm not sure if your mom or dad are friends with me on Facebook, but if they happen to see it, you won there as well. I think you had 4 votes, Hunter had 2, and I had 2.
There you
So,
go.
yep, you're crushing it, man. Thanks for showing up.
Greg says I'd respond faster, but too much delay. Love it, guys. Well, you maybe try the YouTube. Join it on the YouTube. I don't know. I don't know why there's such a delay. There shouldn't be such a delay. We're on Restream.
There shouldn't be one. But yeah, Chris, no, found footage. Yeah, hopefully, like you said, people are kind of inspired to, grab the bull by the horns and go get it. I know one of the last live streams we did, Aiden was in there as well, and he was like, "Oh, I'd like to make a movie someday." It's like, "Oh, homie, like you
can right now.
You can." And we played a game tonight called Among Us. If you're familiar with that game, it's popular. I don't know. It's like a game kids play. But we played it like in real life, right? So we set up like tasks around the house and whatever, and you draw numbers, and a certain number is the imposter. But Aiden, I think he got some microphones, clip-on microphones for Christmas. So he mic'd a couple guys up. He filmed on his phone. He had all of us film on his phone. We're all dropping it into like a Google Drive folder, and my man's going to edit it into a video on YouTube.
Dude, that is dope. Awesome.
Isn't that sick? And we played like 5 games. We get to like the 6th game, 7th game. I'm like, homie, I feel like we should stop recording. Do you have any idea how much work this is going to be to go through 5? I think 5 out of the 7 people or 5 out of the 6 people had cameras. And I'm just like, yo, this is going to be a lot of work. But I know he's up to the challenge.
That's awesome. Man.
And that's cool. Yeah, he's going to be editing that bad boy together. So people have to be sure to check it out. It'll be probably on Cash Money's or YouTube channel there. So send a sub his way. You'll be able to find it. But yeah. So to that, or speaking to that more, yeah, Chris, this found footage has been great. I think it's cool that it's accessible for everybody to do it. Yeah. Right. You see, there's a lot of found footage movies out there where it looks poorly shot or poorly produced, or the image on screen doesn't look great. But because of the world you create, a lot of times if it's a great story and it's in a certain time, or they're filming with a certain camera, whatever, the audience will forgive that. They don't care that it doesn't look like it was made by a big budget studio. And then what's cool is you can also be on the other end of the spectrum, where somebody like us with Dockside Media, where we've made all these documentaries and all these talking heads and had all these 3 camera interviews, where it's like, oh, dude, well, we're filming on these FX. Okay, well, yeah, dude, let's film, these found footage sequences. And Chris, in post, you can add different types of film grain or whatever. You can manipulate it some and downgrade it, but like when people watch this and when it's in 4K, dude, I've watched it on a 70-inch TV. It looks amazing. It's crazy that 2 guys can do that with the help of a lot of great actors and actresses, and Tony on sound, and Patrick helping with the location, and Ian as well.
I mean, that location just made so much of the film, though, too. Couldn't ask for somewhere better. It was like accessible as up for a production, but also felt very isolating. And I don't know, like just some of those shots of the pine trees and stuff. Hey, Uncle Ty.
Yeah, throw that up on the screen. Shout out to Fart Slayers. It's my niece Carter. So I got my friend's son Aiden and my niece Carter. They running it up in the chat. I love it. And my boy Greg Lanciotti. Everybody came in. Carter, you're good on the video production as well. You've been doing great with your edits on CapCut and whatnot. So people head on over to Fart Slayers. Carter.
That's a great name. That's a great name.
Oh, it'll catch on. No, I like it. That was all. Yeah, no, I'm very impressed with that. It's like, oh no, that's great. I want to say, Chris, she's 13 years old. She's doing it with like a consortium. Like it's her and 4 or 5 friends. Somehow all have access to the channel, so they all can post their own videos to it.
Yeah.
And it's mostly all shorts. So it's neat. Yeah, it's only like the same 4 or 5 people. so you can kind of get to know the characters or the creators or whatever. But they're all kind of shorts. Oh, and there's the at Tiffany Walgamuth. That's my other niece, Bryn. What's up, girl? Giving you a shout out. And she drops a lot of dope, funny shorts, and also does a lot of shorts with dances and stuff like that. But it's crazy. Yo, Carter, Bryn, it be Christmas break, because there ain't no way your mom be letting you up after 9 p.m., even on a Friday. But it's her and her 4 friends. Yep, it's really fun. You guys should check it out. But thanks so much for dropping in the chat. You guys rock. When you get a little older, or actually next time maybe we go up to Racetown Cabin and your mom leaves to go shopping or something, I'll throw on Creature of the Pines. A lot of swear words, a couple F words, pretty scary. But Hunter watched it with me. Dude, he loved it. He gave it a solid 8.7. And he doesn't like found footage or horror films. So the story and the acting was that great and genuine. He was all about it. So I'll let you guys watch it too. We just can't tell your mom or dad. So yeah, dude, I love that. I love that. Hunter's, my niece and nephew and Hunter's, friend are all up in the chat, dude. This is making my day.
That's great.
This is so dope. So Chris, I don't know. Do we want to go back to found footage, or do we want to talk more about Creature of the Pines? I guess let me put one more little plug in for Creature of the Pines. Anybody that wants to get Creature of the Pines early, you can head over to creatureofthepines.com. Chris and I have an Indiegogo campaign going on, about 14 days left. We're looking to raise $3,000 for finishing costs on the movie. Got some VFX that need done, some film festival submissions. So looking to cover some of those costs. We are 95% of the way funded. That means we have $2,859 raised so far.
You're 95% of the way?
95% of the way. We need less than $100.
Who's going to push this over here?
Exactly. So let's see. We got Carter, we got Bryn, and we've got Aiden in the chat. Guys, you have my permission.
No.
Go take your mom or dad's credit card. Head to creatureofthepines.com. There's 3 different perks. Go all the way down to the bottom one that's $500. Click on that, and we make our goal of 3,000 easily. I'm kidding. Choose the $50 perk. They probably won't notice it on the statement. Everybody wins. You get the movie early. You get your name, Carter Wagamuth or Bryn, in the credits. Aiden, you're in the credits. It's great. Everybody wins. Your parents never know. So, I got you. Let's go. Carter, you rock. So, perfect. Chris, we might meet our goal within the next 10, 15 minutes. Hunter's friends and my nieces and nephews keep popping on here.
That's funny.
So, people hop on over there. It's an awesome found footage horror movie. If you've been watching for a few minutes, you saw the trailer. It looks great. It sounds great. Awesome storyline. Awesome acting. I mean, that was the one comment I've gotten from everybody is that, man, dude, is this real? These are real people, right?
There's actors, man.
These are actors are doing those lines. I go, no, this is all. Can I do $500? You can, Bryn. You can.
Do not do that. Do not do that, Bryn.
If you saw some of their Christmas gifts, you would say, "Oh yeah, you can do that."
Do not upset your sister, Tyler.
I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission, Chris.
Speaking of Creature of the Pines, though, those actors that we were able to get, fantastic. Because that is a common thought of a lot of found footage movies. It's like the acting's not so great here. And it makes sense. I think from a viewer's perspective, when you're seeing a movie that is the camera's particularly placed and the lighting is perfect and the music's there, it just elevates everything in a sense. So and it makes it feel like cinema, right? So you forgive some things, or it doesn't feel as natural, right? But found footage script, it strips everything away. So it feels like a real person's supposed to be holding this camera. It's kind of ugly sometimes, or whatever. It just looks real. And when the person feels like they're acting, when everything else looks real, it just sticks out more, I think. So they could be a great actor, but just like don't work for the found footage stuff. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Well, and it's been watching Percy Jackson here with
Me
Hunter, the new
too.
season, right?
Oh, I'm only on season 1. Me and Miranda been
Oh,
watching.
you're only on season
Great.
one.
It's great though.
Well, that's good because yeah, you can get caught up, and they're only 4 episodes into season 2, I think, and we're
Okay.
at 3. We're gonna watch one after this stream. But like when I watch that, I'm like, oh man, all the words are very like they're not. Rarely are people giving
Yeah,
long monologues
it's the
like
most
it's like
eloquent way to say something, right? Yeah.
Yep. Very short, 4 words. The next person 3, but it keeps the story going. You understand it all, but it's like, oh man, that's something with found footage. While where, man, you need these people to be genuine and authentic and real, not sounding like they're giving canned lines or anything. And they got to do it in a way where it's like, oh, it's not just for this 3-second shot where we can run it 5 times real quick and one of them will look great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, we can do 2, maybe 3 takes if we got enough time. We got a schedule to keep on, and we did a great job adhering to the schedule. Everybody did good knowing their lines, and it worked out great.
Which, I don't know if you're out there and you know anything about filmmaking, but we shot, I think, 23 pages or 26 pages in one day, which is absolutely insane. Like normally, you trying to shoot like 3 to 5 pages. If you're no budget, maybe 5 to 10 pages, normal cinema. 26 pages unheard of, but obviously found footage you can move a lot faster because you're not lighting everything. Now we did, do some quick lighting at moments to make sure things looked as good as they could, but not like in normal filmmaking. It takes an hour to light a new scene, and then to do the blocking and stuff. It's not it's like 2 hours before you're actually rolling cameras. And found footage is like, we're going to be rolling cameras in 5 minutes. We're just going to put this light here and we're going to keep going.
Yep. And it was great job by all the actors and actresses were like, oh, they were well prepared when we're like, okay, where you think we're going to shoot this? Over this way towards that? Okay, yeah. Well, where are they walking to? Okay, let's start here. Yeah. Okay, well, where's a mark? Like, yeah. And just all the little things where it was like, oh, and they would start kind of running through their scenes, like doing a run through. They knew their lines. So when it was like action, I mean, it was great. We could get 2 great takes relatively quick. And, it might have been a 4-minute long scene or 5-minute, but yeah, it was insane that dude, like every 30 minutes, boom, 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 like a machine. We just boom, kept eating that elephant a bite at the time. Till 26 pages or whatever is shot in one day, where it was like, oh, yeah, it was 12 hours. Yeah, it was kind of long, but it wasn't like, oh, we didn't film for 20 hours. You know what I mean? It wasn't like ridiculous. And even there, it wasn't like we were filming for all 12 hours. It was like, oh, people showed up at 10 and we left at 10. There was, a bunch of stuff in between there.
It was easy, honestly. Like it was.
No, it wasn't bad. So
there's also like
a lot of credit with the actors and actresses too.
There's like a psychological element too when you're like crossing scenes off the list, like you're making progress. When you're doing normal narrative filmmaking, you're like, all right, well, we got to shoot this scene. All right, we shot it. Now we got to switch angles, do the over the shoulders, do it again. It'll take and you're like 4 hours on a 1 minute 30-second sequence in the film. It's like, okay, it gets tiresome, right? Like your progress is so much slower, so it's not as motivating sometimes.
Yep, for sure. Quick peace out to the nieces. I see they're dipping out. Thanks for hopping in there, Carter and Bryn. Get that credit card number. You have my number. Text it to me. A picture of the front and back will do fine. And I'll take care of the pledging and the backing to our Indiegogo campaign. CreatureOfThePines.com. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, Chris. That was satisfying, and I liked too. It was like, we'd get late in the day, it might be like 7:30 or something, and at this point in the year in November when we're filming, it's like, oh, it's dark at 5. So by 7:30, it was like 50 degrees during the daytime. Okay, it's starting to get cold. It's been dark for 2.5 hours. We got a little fire going, but it was great because it's like, Hey boys, dude. Yep. 22 down, 4 to go, baby. We got 4 more and we done, and that's a wrap. So it was just so great. Like, yeah, even though it's like said, it's like, oh, bro, we got 22 done. It's like, what? 4 more to go, dude. We did like 4 more, all downhill from here. We can do this. And that I remember we just set up those different few scenes or whatever and knocked them out of the park. And we're like,
yeah, you got to keep moving. You can't take the breaks though. If you start breaking, it all shuts down.
Oh, for sure. Nope. And yeah, no, it was great. It was a lot of hustle and just great team effort to get everything done that we did.
I will say though, I will say that like this wasn't the funnest movie we've shot. I'm just thinking back, like I really do enjoy for a dockside media movie, like when we get to go and stay a day or two and have like those experiences. Remember like staying up all night for Ghost in the not Ghost in the Graveyard, the Ghosts of Gettysburg.
Yeah,
being so tired, but like that the adventure of it all. It's memorable. I remember when we went and did
and that one real quick, but then waking up, not only being up like all night,
yeah,
and at like 6 a.m. we're out on the Gettysburg battlefield.
Yeah, badass.
With a guy dressed in Confederate or in old Civil War regalia, and we're filming B-roll. And it's like, yo, is this my life right now? I agree. It's so fun. So go back to your next one that was real fun. Aside from the Ghost of Gettysburg,
Ghosts in the Graveyard, Pure Pandemonium. I remember that one. I remember because we shot some stuff. It was going okay. We were like, I don't know, things weren't working out. Like we were just having issues and stuff. But then we're like, all right, well, we're camping here tonight. A bunch of people we don't really know, but they were all cool people.
Yeah,
dude. And then you gave me some like RSO or something like that I was not prepared for, and my world shifted on me. And I was like, I need to go. I'm going into this tent. I'm going to sleep. And yeah, but I just remember that. That was great fun.
Yeah, that was great time. That was a lot of fun.
I think it was just we're out in the middle of nowhere. Like things weren't working the way we wanted them to be working and stuff. It was just a mess. And it was nothing to do with the people there. It was like we were having just issues.
Yeah. Well, what about even Historically Haunted with Amy Bruni, which we're trying to get picked up by a certain company. But me, you, and Tony Marion joined us for that one, but out in Cali for 7 days straight. And we're filming we're up super early, butt crack of dawn. We're at the locations filming by like typically 9 or 10 or something. And then we're filming till like 8, 9, 10 at night. We go back to the Airbnb, which was a beautiful location on this lake that Amy Bruni, just massive thanks to her, got us out there and lodged us and fed us a lot. And she was just I got nothing but nice things to say about her and how she made all that possible. But it was a great experience because, then we get back, Chris. We're trying to eat real quick. You're dumping all the footage that we shot that day.
It was like 6 or 7 hours, yeah.
Just so we can get cards cleared. We're plugging in battery after battery after battery all night long, or just for like 3 hours. Eventually, it's like, okay, 12-1, I'm going to sleep. But I'm switching out batteries one last time just so tomorrow, hopefully, we got 8 good ones or whatever it was. That was, I love that one too. And getting to all those places and meeting all those different people, they were all. I like that adventure.
Those ghost hunting things are fun because you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't know where the night's going to take you. When we did, what was it called? The Ghost of Grand Midway.
Yeah,
that building was so freaking cool. That like 3 or 4 story haunted hotel, and he had like every room done up in a creepy way. And I just remember being like on the top floor by yourself, and you'd have to come down and meet everyone in the lobby, and it was like the scariest thing. Dude, that was a great time too, doing that movie.
Oh, I loved it. And not to mention, we're getting ready to go there. Hey, by the way, I think the heat broke or whatever, and then that also froze a pipe and burst. So you've got one toilet you can use and no heat. and we are
so cool.
we're in. It's like late February or
It was so cold.
whatever it was. It was ungodly cold for that time of year, where it was like in the 20s and stuff. And Chris and I, we our little thing was attached, and I can't remember. Somehow it had minor heat. I mean, like 50 degrees. It was brutal, bro. I mean, we're like, just completely huddled up, and we'd get up the next day. Oh my gosh. We go to leave. When we finish filming, I remember Josh comes out. Thank God Chris already left. I'm getting ready to leave. Josh comes out to start his car. It wouldn't start. Battery dead. He's like teeth chattering. He's like, hey, Tyler, can you help me jump this? I'm like, bro, I got you. I'm glad you called me, because you probably would have died here, dude. It was so cold. But it was so much fun.
Tyler, that was still better than the place we stayed at when we were shooting Surrounded by Spirits. That Airbnb, whatever that place was. I slept on a dirty air mattress on the dirtiest floor of all time.
It was like when we walked in, it was like, hold on. There's like whole chips on the ground. Like somebody didn't drop a crumb. It's like somebody intentionally just left random food pieces in whole all throughout. And yeah, they were air mattresses, bro. And we were like, oh gosh, this is gonna be rough.
In there, I think it was like $30 a night or something though.
Yeah. Hey, if you could please leave me a nice review. It's like, oh wait, dude, you knew we were coming and you left it like this? What?
Remember, he's like, you could have the food in the freezer, and it was like a 12-year-old lean cuisine or something.
Like, bro, I can't believe it. He was in contact with you. He knew we were coming, and this was how he left it.
Well, hey, my air mattress is fully blown up, so he must have went in there and did that.
Yeah, true. That was a great time. Yeah. And the filming Surrounded by Spirits, yeah, there was cool stuff happening. Okay, let me say this. One, I loved all the real world adventures that took place filming our other 7 paranormal documentaries, the 6-episode docuseries, the Historically Haunted with Amy Bruni, that we're trying to get picked up now. But yeah, I enjoyed the whole process of filming Creature of the Pines. And even though it was a found footage narrative movie, all the stuff we did and the location creeped me out enough where when we're finished and Chris and Tony went there, the boys left, Chris and Tony went back up to the cabin. They took a load of stuff up, and they were, I think, cleaning the cabin up. And I'm down there in the dark tearing down these tents by myself. And I heard something in the woods. I'm like snapping my head around. I'm like, oh, my heart's pumping and stuff. I'm like, yo, Chris, if that's you with me, seriously, man, kind of that, it was just weird that we just got done shooting this stuff that we had written and scripted. And here I am still, there's a noise in the woods. And I'm like, what the? I was really getting freaked out.
If you didn't have a light on, it was just pitch black where we were.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
It's not a good feeling.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do miss filming some of those ghost things. They're just so much fun.
Yeah, Chris, let me give a shout out here to Dolly Safran. You see her, Chris? You want to pull her?
She's on here.
Her comment up if people want to see it. But so Chris and I have another documentary that will be coming out called "Stolen by the Stars."
Yep.
Regarding alien abductions, we've got all the interviews filmed.
Yep.
Chris will be editing it here throughout the
it started. Yep, it's in post.
It's in process. It's in post. Dolly has an amazing story from a child to now, adult in her maybe 60s, and the experiences she has had with extraterrestrials will absolutely blow your mind. I don't want to say too much because I prefer you watch the doc, but you can look into Dolly Safran and see some of and hear some of her story. Preston Dennett wrote a book about her experiences, and I am drawing a blank. Gosh darn it. Off the top of my head. But if you look up Dolly Safran and Preston Dennett, you'll be able to read it. And oh yeah, her life has been amazing and what she has witnessed. And Greg, I will say this for Greg Lanciotti, because he has been a trooper. He has been watching the stream since the beginning. So Greg, I know you love yourself some conspiracies, all right? Dolly Safran, her dad, Special Forces, all right? Top secret, all this stuff.
We're back home. You can keep going.
No problem. Greg, she grows up where some different things are happening in her life where it appears that she may be clairvoyant or be able to read people's symmetry. Thank you, Dolly. I thought I was going to say synergy, and I knew it wasn't synergy. So, yep, the book about Dolly Safran's life, written by Preston Dennett, is called Symmetry. But so Greg, what I was saying was, yeah, she is, having these experiences where she has these abilities, it appears. So, through her dad in the Air Force, I believe, and she goes to this. I can't remember the name of the base off the top of my head, but she goes there. They're testing her and other children for psychic abilities. She's acing the test where she's reading the card, before they show it to her. And yeah, so if you are familiar with the government and like remote viewing and these types of things and the studies that, the actual government was paying for, Dolly Safran was a part of that when she was like 4 or 5 years old. And then her dad pulled her from the program because his boss or superior was like, "Oh, if you want to ever see her again, you need to get her out of there and get her out of there now." So I don't want to share too much more about it, but Chris, yeah, I just shared a little bit about Dolly's Homestead Air Force Base. Thank you, Dolly. So Greg, I know you love looking into that stuff with the government. You really need to look into Dolly Safran's story and the book Symmetry. And then when we get Stolen by the Stars released here, you'll have to watch it because her life is absolutely fascinating and stuff that just really can't be explained. And what's cool is that Preston Dennett, before he even wrote the book Symmetry, he interviewed her extensively for 6 years straight, like vetting her and her sources and her stories and the people that she met growing up. And it's absolutely mind-blowing. She was the real McCoy. Yeah, when I sat with her, it was an awesome experience, and I'm very, very thankful I could do that. So, Stolen by the Stars, feel free to check that out.
Yeah, that's what we're wrapping here, very, very, very close to wrapping Creature of the Pines. Got to get that VFX and stuff done. It's in the progress. It's in process. Progress. It's in process.
In process. Yeah.
But that's also one of the reasons why we're crowdfunding right now. So creatureofthepines.com, if you want to contribute, get your name on that movie and get all the access to the perks and stuff like that. And we'll talk about those again in a little bit here. But as soon as Creature of the Pines is wrapped, all my efforts are going fully into post-production on Stolen by the Stars, which is going to be a great, it's already started, but it's a great switch from Creature of the Pines. There's a bit more challenge in a film like that where it's just a bunch of interviews, trying to find the through lines and trying to find the connectivity between the interviews and all that stuff. Although it's a challenge, but it's also a lot of fun, and we've done it many times before in the past with our other 7 movies. This will be our 3rd alien documentary, and the alien stuff is always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Different, a lot different than the ghost hunting stuff. There's not as much us walking around, it's just a different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about it is all the interview subjects, all their stories. And in this one, everyone's very passionate. And some of them, get really personal and interesting. So I hope we can do it justice. I think we will. But
Oh yeah.
on everyone we had involved in this movie, I think people out there are going to really want to hear these stories. So I'm excited for Stolen by the Stars and finishing that up. And Dockside Media, we don't we don't slow down. Now we did slow down in like 2024-ish, 2020, and that was mostly because I was working on my film Transient. But since
Right.
then, we've been going at it, and 2026 is going to be crazy because we're going to be putting out Creature of the Pines. We're in post production here. We're definitely going to be putting out Stolen by the Stars as well, but that'll be wrapped up post production early 2020. But then we're also entering into production on Children of the Veil, which is another kind of faux documentary found footage thing, which I'm super excited about. And we have so many ideas after that. So we'll just see how many things we can get accomplished in 2026. But this is the life, the real life of a no budget independent filmmaker. It's no slowing down, constantly making stuff because you never know. Most movies don't hit and are hard to find an audience nowadays. So you got to make great stuff and then, hope that one of them catches the attention of people. Starseeds.
Yeah. Yeah. Greg's saying Starseeds next. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that concept. Yep. And with alien and UFO documentaries performing well for us, I can definitely see that being one. That we would get into as far as a real documentary. And then also, I would love, and I think Chris and I had mentioned before, we just haven't done it yet, is one on like incarnation or people who are reincarnated.
Actually, that would really interest me.
Just because like all those things about like, what was it like General MacArthur in World War II, thinking he was the reincarnation of a soldier in a Roman battle and Napoleon Bonaparte, whatever. Like, there's like plenty of very famous or like influential people in history who, had these crazy strong beliefs that they were indeed the reincarnation of a former soul. And so I love that. I can't remember the name of the book. I can picture the cover, but like people being like the thing about like kids where like they're talking about these things as if they lived this life of a famous author or painter or so-and-so back in the day. And like when it's looked up, it's like, man, how could that 5-year-old have known that information unless they had lived that life? So there's a lot of fascinating stuff like that we could do with as well. So what were you going to say, Chris?
Well, I mean, the interesting dynamic of Dockside Media is how I'm the skeptic one when we make paranormal documentaries. But I'm the skeptic one. But I find all this stuff really fascinating and interesting. But I think me being a skeptic also is one of the elements that it's like, if we're going to interview someone, I don't want someone on our movie who is not genuine. Like, I want a real perspective. I might not be convinced all the time with things because I'm so skeptical, but I'm also pretty cynical. You know that personally. But the thing about this reincarnation thing that's so interesting is like, okay, well, maybe there's a psychological element to it. It's just like a really fascinating thing because, like you said, it's not like some Joe Schmo you don't know. It's like these quote unquote credible or like influential people who have claimed to have experienced it or have it, or you know what I mean? So it's like, to me as a skeptic, is also very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Chris, we make a good team. It helps. Like you said, I think one of the things that we pride ourselves on are like, we like, I don't know, to sit down with people who have had these real world experiences and that they're authentic and genuine. Like, I'm not looking to sit down. Well, and that's kind of why Creature of the Pines came. One of the reasons it came to fruition. One, our documentary Secrets of the Sasquatch still performs well. So we were like, man, we should do something with like a creature like that. And what I was trying to get at was, we have said, oh man, we're looking to just have real people tell their real stories. If people are making stuff up, Chris and I can go do that ourselves, and we can probably do a better job of it, you know? And so that was one of the reasons we went and did Creature of the Pines, because we're like, oh, well, yeah, if we want to just go and interview people about made up stuff, well, we'll just make it up ourselves so that the storyline is as tight as it can be, and as entertaining as possible and as scary as possible. So it's great when you watch our real documentaries and you hear about people's experiences like Dolly Safran or Anjali or Sue Walker or Clifford Mahooty or whatever, the list goes on and on. I could just keep naming John Ramirez, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, oh, yeah, no, dude, all these people, as far as I can tell, were very genuine and authentic. Even Richard Doty.
I was going to say, Richard
Doty.
Was
a former, Air Force Air Force Office of Special Investigations counterintelligence officer. And, man, when I sat with him, I got the vibe that he was being genuine. Maybe he was trying to turn over a new leaf in the things that he was talking about.
Or Tyler, maybe he's just very good at what he does too.
He might have played me exactly. Yeah. I mean, he's got glasses, very unassuming. He's not very charismatic, or any. So it's like, but maybe that's the mold that grips a guy, helps manipulate a guy like me. I don't know. I thought he seemed very genuine. Nothing. I'm also good. I can just memorize. I remember when people say stuff. So when they tell me one story one time and then 30 minutes later they say something where it's just even a hair different, I'm like, oh, well, hold on now. Why are we contradicting ourselves? I don't want to really interview you. Yeah.
That is something I'll praise you for. My memory is terrible. You could tell me I'm like a freaking goldfish over here.
Really? Well,
yeah, you call me on that shit all the time. You're like, it's like, yeah, you're right. I wish I had a memory like that.
You're too funny, dude. That is great, though. I'm like, well, Chris, we're gonna go on this podcast. We went on it. It's with this guy and this guy.
I don't know who that is.
He's like, I'm saying, well, dude, you're the one that commented, hey, man, Brent, I really like your voice. What? I don't. Well, okay. Well, I remember that's how it took place last year.
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
Yeah, Chris has no clue. He's like, I'll take your word for it. And then when we get on the screen, he'll be like, oh, no, yes, I do remember you. Okay, I remember you. I don't remember what we talked about, but I remember you. So either way, Dolly Safran said quite a few psychic people remember being reincarnated. I think that's very fascinating. Absolutely.
You know what makes me kind of sad?
What?
Well, you interviewed Clifford Mahooty, who has since passed. But at one point, we talked about going out there to do ayahuasca and do a whole retreat and stuff like that. Obviously, we can't do that anymore, but
it makes you sad that we didn't do that.
It would have been quite the experience, I think. Looking back in my life, we talked about our other movies, there's these moments that are part of my memory. And you talk about how shitty my memory is, but
that's a core memory there.
I treasure those adventures we do and stuff like that. I think that would have been an amazing one.
Well, I'm still down to do it. I think, I forget what the problem was. We didn't have a great title for it. So a lot of our movies, like Creature of the Pines, a lot of times the title comes first and then everything cascades from there. So with this one, we had a great idea. Oh man, dude, I'd like to go on one of those kind of, ayahuasca spiritual quests or whatever. Me being more open to that kind of realm, and Chris being not as open to that.
I'm open to psychedelics. I think I'm not as open to
a spiritual experience or something like that.
I've never been a religious person, but I've never really experienced a spiritual experience either. Maybe.
Yeah. So that's what I meant. But I'd like to see from that spirit aspect of after going on that shamanic quest or whatever and taking the ayahuasca, would you be more, because most people are oh man, there was definitely something out there. Afterward, you know what I mean? I feel I connected with, so I'd be interested to see where your mind would be at afterwards.
See, I think my problem is that I'm a little afraid because, I mean, you know me, I I get depressed. I get anxiety. Like I got these things, and I'm afraid. Like I don't know what's going to happen if I'm on ayahuasca. I don't know what's releasing those things, and maybe they would help in the long run, but I don't know.
I think they would. I think it would rewire your brain a little bit. And it's all like, I'm not saying like, oh, you and I just go mix up some stuff and go like lock the door. No, like this would be like a professional setting by people who do this and guide people. But yeah, I would be, no, I think that's still on our list of things to do.
Didn't we have someone in like Boston or something offer to do that?
Up in Maine. The, it's the general, the guy at the Maine Mineral and Gem Museum. When I went up looking for that meteorite in Waite, Maine.
How do we meet people? It's crazy. This is crazy.
Well, that one was a post, and it was like, oh, hey, this was the first meteorite that was ever recorded on Maine's Doppler radar.
Really?
And it fell, it had like a, I don't know, 5 square mile, whatever the area was, but it gave you like, oh, it should be, here's like the highest percentage chance, here's the least percentage chance. And so, yeah, me being a knucklehead, I'm like, I bet I can find that thing. And
you almost did. That's the crazy thing.
And then I almost did. I found something that I almost blew my back out. If you have any idea how hard it is to check rocks with a magnet to see if they're magnetic, I should have brought a long pole with the magnet on, because dog, it was nothing but all day
bending
up and down on these dark, interesting rocks to see if they were magnetic. And then I thought I found it. But so what it was the guy that, when I submitted it for the chronograph or spectrometry, whatever they did, where they broke a piece off and they fired it up and then they recorded the gas elements in it. The guy who does that at the Maine Mineral and Gem Museum, he is also a certified shaman, and so he can take us on a journey. I'm not sure if it would be ayahuasca or not. He said he could do, like, he's well versed in. He's a super smart guy. It was crazy. We can reach out to him.
We should probably do that at some point.
No, we totally should. Yeah, now that you brought that up, because that guy was really cool, and super knowledgeable. So, and he was one of those guys where it was like, oh, somehow, bro, if I remember correctly, he befriended this, like, I want to say this guy, the one that tests the meteorites and has been doing it he's like in the 60s or whatever. He befriended this Native American or whatever, I think, when he was younger, and they took him through all these ceremonies to where he was like anointed as a shaman or what. Like, somehow the odds of him, like, they don't just do that to anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he went through all these different things and it was just incredible me hearing his story. I'm like, wait, what? How? Like, you grew up in Germany? Yeah, like how? And it was just this magical event where this guy is like, a certified, and they, I guess, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the tribe, but would consider him one of theirs or whatever, you know what I mean? Just because of everything he did, and that he's trusted to carry out these rituals for that tribe when they do, like, and wed people and all this stuff. It was really wild. So we should do it. He is
we will have to do it. This is just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I guess because I'm 40 now, where it's like, I think on my deathbed, what's going to be the important things. And again, like these experiences where we get to do like what no one else ever gets to do. Very few people.
Right.
In hotels at 3 a.m. and shit. Like, like out in Gettysburg Battlefield at 3 a.m. and just crazy shit. Are the things you're going to remember and like, not a religious person, so it's like I get one
shot at this.
Shot at this. Let's make it worth it. You know what I mean? So that's one of those things I do want to try at some point.
For sure. Yeah, no, let's leave a mark. And hopefully it's encouraging to other people. It's like, oh, you look at Chris, you look at me, like, oh, we're nobody special. The only reason that we're able to go do these documentaries is because, like, well, we just start contacting people, we just start filming, Chris, we just start
go and do
editing,
it. Yeah.
we just go and do it. We don't ask for permission. I mean, like, we ask the people if they'd like to be interviewed, but it's like, we don't go around to everybody. Hey, do you think this would be a good idea to make a documentary called Conscious Contact Full Disclosure about aliens and telepathy and like, yeah, no, we didn't care. We're like, oh, wait, hold on. A Department of Defense intelligence officer is giving a press conference in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., talking about an encounter she had with extraterrestrials in a mountain in California. I'm like, well, Chris, you said you want to make documentaries. I said, yeah. Well, that was a week ago. You cool if I run down and film that and we'll figure out what to do with it? You're like, yeah, good. And I mean, that was how, that's just how this was born. I remember we're driving. I'm heading down to DC. Chris, bro, we need a name for this company, man. We need a name. I got to make a Facebook page so I can post pictures. And Dockside Media was born from there. So for people out there thinking, those guys are different. They just, they're really talented or they're really smart, or a lot of it is just hustle. I mean, Chris's work ethic is insane. The guy keeps going, and he's been doing it for years. I mean, between the Bad Movie Night and making your sketches for that and short films, like, if people want to get better or want to be like filmmakers or make movies, like, go start making them. The first few might not be great, but I guarantee you, when you just keep going and doing it, like anything else, man, you naturally get better at it. And so all those reps have us to a point where, we can spend, $1,500 to $3,000 and go film a found footage movie like Creature of the Pines, where when you watch it, you're like, wait, how did two guys make that? I've seen stuff by studios with $1 million or a couple $1 million that doesn't look that well polished and produced, and the storyline isn't as great, the acting isn't as great. So go out in 2026 here, guys. If you have an idea and you want to create a new YouTube channel or start creating content on Facebook or making movies or doing graphic design, AI's out. There's so much stuff out there. AI, YouTube, believe me, you can learn it and you can get better at it and go do it.
Yeah. Greg says Chris is a god. Definitely not a god, but thank you for that compliment.
Well, if you believed in one, you would be, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe. No, but I mean, like, all this stuff is just, I'm not great at, I don't think I'm great at anything, but I am a jack of all trades. So there's things I can do. So there's no limitations for us, right? Like, we want to make a movie, we can make a movie because we can do all aspects of it. We don't have to rely on anyone else. We don't have to, like you said, ask for permission or anything like that. A lot of filmmakers out there are people who, like, either maybe have a script or an idea, but they keep waiting. They're like, oh, I need money, I need this, and like in this landscape now, in the world we live in now, it's like that money's not coming. Like, that's for the very, very select few that has that opportunity to actually have a big amount of funding. Like, you got to go out and just make stuff. You got to do it. And yeah, I get it. Like, it's not easy. And there's movies we've made that we're like, all right, we put so much effort and this is cool. And then, like, no one watches it. And
that's not true. They've all made
all of our movies. Yes, that's true.
Decent money. They all made back. Yeah, the money. But when it's like, oh man, this looks like, compared to the other stuff we've seen about ghost hunting, this thing should kill it. And I agree. Sometimes, it can be disheartening when it's like, man, how did that not pop off?
Yeah, and you just got to keep going. Like, there's no options.
Yep, exactly. And you keep getting better and you keep learning new things. And it was just great that we made the 7 documentaries and the 6-episode docu-series before this found footage horror movie, Creature of the Pines, only because Chris has so many reps in editing these documentaries that when he started cutting Creature of the Pines and sending me clips to get some feedback, it's like, oh my gosh, dude, is so good.
This was the easiest movie to edit.
Well, I think probably since there was some mockumentary aspect to it, you already have a good feel of how I need to put music in and transition pace.
But like we didn't, when I wrote the thing, like wrote the scripts, I wrote them all independently. Like we didn't write like I wrote all of the detectives interview, I wrote all of the professors, everything separately, and then all the found footage segments separately. So like there was no script that was like, this is what happens. It was all these elements shot independently, and then I cut it together. But it was still the easiest movie to cut together.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you did wonders. It was cool where we did 3 days worth of film, 3 days worth of found footage filming, and we get back, and Chris, within 3 days, I think he had all of them all cut out, and it was rough and didn't have all the sound design. But it's like, oh, cool. As we finish getting these interviews, we can start piecing this all together. And as we were watching, the found footage sequence, it's like, okay, well, what can be added into this in the sound design to help, to help give it a little bit more oomph, for a little bit more impact, just through creaking of trees or wind or whatever it was. And that was great too, where Chris pieces it all together. And then there could be like, oh man, this part feels slow, or it feels like it lingers here. And we like go through the scripts of like all the different interviews, and it was like, oh well, hey, this line was never used. Remember when the park ranger said this?
Yeah.
What if well, if I put it here, it would probably try putting it there, see what that does. And we're like, oh man. So it was cool how you didn't have, there was no screenplay written, right? Like where you would read it, how the movie would play from beginning to end. It was like you said, all in separate scripts. And then, you did what you do where you pieced it together. And then, even having the separate scripts just allowed all that leeway of, man, what else could be added? Or, it was cool. It was cool. It's been great.
It is funny to see how like the editing notes become so nitpicky at some point, where you know what I mean. Like when I say, original like found footage, you're like, all right, but then like as you start adding sound design and all these little elements, then it's like it becomes so much more real and better. But like then the notes are like so nitpicky, and you're like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
No, I'm sure you want to. Really, you're telling me you want that frame tilted 2 degrees down this way?
Exactly.
2 degrees. You think somebody's going to notice that? Like, dude, a dash cam wouldn't be like that. and then Chris does it, renders a whole new cut. He sends it out. I'm like, oh, dude, all this stuff looks great. Oh man, this looks great, bro. You went 5 degrees on that rotation. I said 2. Now it tilts the wrong way. You got to bring, and you're like, yo, you mother.
Exactly. But like in the moment, it's frustrating. But like when you step outside the moment, eventually you're like, all right, that was probably the right call. Got to put that ego aside. Got to put everything aside and just for the movie to be the best.
Yeah. Well, Chris, what are you thinking? We've been going for almost 2 hours here.
Yeah, we can probably end this
going.
We should probably, show Creature of the Pines one last time here.
You going to show the trailer?
No, we could just talk about it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Just if you're out there, if you're checking out the replay of this, if you are able to and interested, make sure you go to creatureofthepines.com. Check out our crowdfunding. We are at 95% funded, so we have a little over 2 weeks, I think, left on our campaign. So I think we'll get there. But if you want to be one of those people who supports the film, get your name in the credits, get access to the movie way before it's ever going to come out, and be a part of bringing, a no-budget independent film to life. You can do that right now. Go to Creature of the Pines, and the basic perk we have is, $50 for a copy of the movie, but it's a little more than that. I didn't want to just like $12, whatever it was. It was like, do you want to support independent films? Do you want to be an actual part of this production?
And get your name in the credits.
And get your name in the credits and all that stuff. So, and we're taking a little bit of risk here because it's like in this day and age, every movie is pirated, and we're putting this out, 9 months or whatever before the movie is actually going to come out. So, we didn't want it to be like a super low barrier to entry in that regard, right?
Right. Yeah. No. If you're supporting the film, you're getting it way before everybody else. I mean, at the very earliest, it premieres at the Fantasia Film Festival in Montreal the end of July. Say A24 buys it a week after that if they don't buy it beforehand. But yeah, and then you still got to set up distribution and all that stuff. So I mean, yeah, you're talking fall of 2026, winter of 2026 until it actually releases on streaming platforms. So if you're awesome enough and generous enough and kind enough, and you're really into found footage horror movies and indie filmmaking, that $50, it gets you access way early. The $150 perk, you can get the movie early in your name,
$100,
and then the 100, yes, 100. You're right, only 100 for only $50 more. So for $100, you get the movie early, name in the credits, you get all the BTS footage that we shot. You get a featurette that Chris and I are filming here very shortly, where it's like a director's commentary on the movie. So you get that bonus feature. You get a PDF called the Pine Files. So you get all the legend and lore of the Pine Hollow and the disappearances that occurred there and the creature of the pines. And so that one's a lot of fun. And then the last perk is a $500 producer perk, which so far we've had 4 of those bad boys go. We just had one pop off here 2-3 hours, or I guess 3-4 hours ago now at this point. That's going to get you, all the stuff I mentioned above with the early digital release and BTS and Pine Files. You also get in the beginning of that movie, baby, when she comes up and it looks so sick, produced by Jeremy Hirsch, produced by Aaron Rupert. Your name's right there. And plus, if you're a producer and you really, really, really help bring this movie to life, well, then we're going to do you a solid. We sent out a cut of the of Creature of the Pines, the 4K version, to get a little bit of feedback from the producers, what they thought, if they had any notes, and if so, we'd take them into account and possibly make changes. And so far, they've all loved it. They've all given great notes. And if you want to be a producer and see this baby, say 15 minutes from now, believe me, I check my email. You go on, you head up, head over to creatureofthepines.com, click on the producer perk. As soon as I get off this thing, the gentleman that signed up right before we started this, I'm going to send him a cut of Creature of the Pines so we can get his feedback before we submit to the Fantasia International Film Festival. Regular submission deadline January 1st. So there is no risk, zero risk when you go to make these pledges or try and be a backer on our Indiegogo campaign. The movie's done. It's coming out. It's not like, if I pay this money and what if they don't end up making it? Nah, we make everything we say we're going to make. And this one, just the way Indiegogo works and how long it takes to get approved and all that stuff. Yeah, the campaign didn't even go live until we already had it all shot. You feel me? That wasn't ideal, but that's just the way it worked. And so now we need some VFX and finishing costs. And that's where, you can help out. Go to creatureofthepines.com, choose one of the perks. Chris and I will be forever grateful and indebted to you. And you get to be a part of something really cool, man. You guys saw the trailer. You know what it's about. This is a great, great movie. And I'm really happy with what we've made and where it's going, Chris. What about you?
It's weird, right? Like we made a movie.
It seems surreal. you know, that's September or whatever. We have the concept, October writing, November filming. Here we are, December finishing the edit.
Yeah.
And
Mess
yeah.
around.
And we're going to do another one with Children of the Veil here in about, if you guys are into cults and that type of stuff, that's going to be another found footage one. So we're going to do it again. We ain't going anywhere. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, Chris, Tyler, Dockside Media, creatureofthepines.com. We got 15 days left on this crowdfunding campaign to pick up $159. If we can't get $159 in 14 days, I don't know what we're doing making movies. I do not know.
Yep. Go to creatureofthepines.com.
Yep. Make our dreams come true. Thanks, everybody. Yo, everybody who watched along, Greg Lanciotti, niece's nephew, Aiden, the super chat, my boy from Bad Movie Night in the beginning. Thank you to everybody who's been tuning in. This has been super fun. Thanks for the interaction and talking about found footage movies. We really appreciate it.
All right. Bye.